Do you want? All right, you want to give us an intro?
Hi guys, I am Baltus from Baltus Day Game. This is the almost the third week for me in Belgrade. This is my first Balkan country, my first time in Eastern Europe, apart from me being in Budapest about 10 years ago. Totally different culture for me, totally new experience. I came here together with Joseph the Wing Bro. We did an immersion immediately on the streets. We were hitting it hard every day, approaching. It was a bit surprising to me, the culture, the girls' reactions, getting the stop right, really perfectioning that stop, becoming more assertive. It's been an adventure. I feel like everything about cold approach has improved a lot for me already. This is definitely a new level for me, and it's still ongoing. So somebody has a question.
I do, yes, Mr. Bal, first day game. So, yeah, you mentioned it's your first time into a Slavic country, Eastern Europe. Last time we met was in Barca. Very different feel. In a way, your home turf as a Western European guy. I noticed, I've been out with you like tons. I noticed a massive difference in your approach after the first couple of days. I really noticed a big upgrade in your approach as you adapted to this environment, and I think it's been really good for you. What have you made it? What have you made of the adaptation? You know, you've had a lot of success already in Western Europe. Now you come out and you've had success out here. It took you just a couple of days to get adjusted. What have you made of the adjustment, and what specific things is it you've had to adjust?
A lot. That's the answer. A lot. Many things. So I'm somebody that usually travels to the south of Europe. I've been in Italy a ton. I've been in Spain. I love these cultures. I really feel at home there. For me, this first Balkan country has been a massive change. I feel like it pulls out a different side of me. It shows different sides of my personality, and also the girls are just totally different.
What sides of your personality though? What's it pull out?
A more masculine, more grounded side, a more assertive side. Um, yeah, that's the main difference. I have to say, my typical kind of girl would be an African girl, a Latina girl. I'm from Belgium. We don't have so many Slavic people in Belgium, so it is just a totally new experience. The women here are superb. They are gorgeous. Their style, the way they take care of themselves, the way they walk, their feminine energy is just unheard of. Very interesting. Um, yeah, but their reactions are more static. They give you less feedback in terms of body language, and that in the beginning it was a bit tough on me because it puts the responsibility of the approach, the conversation, and the whole interaction on you as a man, which is which turned out to be a good thing because it pushes you to go further.
All right, both this day game. I'll step over here because they're talking very loud. So yeah, this is my second time in a new country with you, and watching you approach is just magic. So I'm curious about the mechanics of the approach itself. So one thing I noticed with you is you really stare daggers into the girl when you're in set with her, when you're in conversation with her. So I'm wondering, one, how has that been working for you here compared to the other countries that you've been in? And then two, what are you thinking when you're doing that? Is that a moment where you're running out of things to say and you're just sitting in the tension and staring at the girl seductively? Or are you intentionally not saying anything and gauging her response? Like, what is that like for you?
Yeah, I like that question, and Joseph and I discussed this multiple times. Um, it is many different things. So for me, I like to sit in a moment with a girl and gauge her interests as well. I like to feel out how much I'm attracted to her. So for me, approaching is about first of all making the girl stop, getting in front of her, getting her full attention, and then about the eye contact.
You know, with your eye contact. So one thing that I think guys who coming into cold approach, I think if they see you, it's almost like it's kind of crazy to watch. The only I've seen Christian has a similar angle. I do make good eye contact, but
Oh, the mic, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So just to go into further depth with that, so it's something you have to kind of watch in person to really see what Balthas's style is. It's incredibly relaxed, and he makes such. It's like a dreamy type of eye contact with the girl. It's like you're staring into her soul, dreaming. You know, we all know to good body language, good eye contact, and so on. With you, it's on a completely different level. Though. I've never seen someone else doing that. I think most guys. I think if I've occasionally done things like that, and it's an amazing. It does create an amazing connection. But I think there's almost a sense of nerve to do that too much, like someone I've never met before, to stare at them so intensely. So I'm just interested to know you don't feel any sense of inhibition about that. You're able to just almost peer into the girl's soul immediately. You know, because quite an intimate moment, I suppose, is what I'm saying, and you go straight into that.
Yeah, it's funny what you say about looking into a girl's soul because one of my first dates here, when I was sitting with my date on a bench next to the castle where you have the view, she said like, "Are you looking at me or are you looking behind me? Because it feels like you're looking through me, like I'm looking into her soul." I do like to figure out how much I like the girl. I like to stare into her eyes and really think and observe what it is exactly that I like about her. That's what I do during a date, but that's also how I open a girl and how I stop her. This is literally what happens straight after the stop. I'm kind of scanning her with my eyes, looking like how is she reacting, how is she responding, and it's like I'm trying to read her. I know she's doing the same, and usually it can create a very intimate moment. It can be super exciting, and it's like a speedometer where you have the needle. It either goes up and the attraction rises in the first seconds of the interaction, or the needle drops and you kind of like, nah, this is not really my energy. This is not really my girl. This is not just a physical thing. It's more like an energetic thing where you read the body language and you feel your own emotions and you kind of tune into each other. I really love doing that. Also, I don't mind possible awkwardness around it. I just generally don't care. If she feels weird about it, I might say, "Oh, did I startle you?" or something like that. I don't mind taking it very slow in the beginning. It kind of depends on how I feel in the moment as well. But if you find the right kind of girl for this and she knows how to take it, then it's an absolute jackpot and you have the most incredible approach. That's my best date here this week so far was a girl where I had this insane chemistry with. I felt like I could kiss her. 2 minutes into the approach, we gave each other a hug after I closed her on WhatsApp. I said, "Oh, that was a great hug," and she said, "No, it wasn't." She was basically asking for a second hug, and just before and after that second hug, I really felt like I could kiss her, and I said it later that evening when she was in my apartment, lying in my bed. I said, "You remember that moment? I really felt like I could kiss you, but I didn't do it because I thought I would be weird." And she said, "Well, if it's a natural thing, then it would be okay."
Yeah, sweet. So I'm curious about your thoughts. You've approached now in quite a few different countries. I think it's been a year and a half or so since your immersion with Christian. So curious how you're finding Belgrade. Yeah, you and I, we approached together in Barcelona. You've done your approaches back home in Belgium, and I know you even ran your immersion in Barcelona. So what are some key differences? Just a general, broad kind of a question. What are the differences you're seeing out here approaching girls in Belgrade, in a Slavic country, versus an immersion country such as Barcelona or back home in Belgium?
Yes, great question. I love to think about differences and the cultural differences. So Barcelona, I would describe it as a very receptive city, a very positive city. You just feel the happy energy all over you. People are smiley when you go grocery shopping in the supermarket. The cashiers will give you smiles. You'll strike up conversations easily. In Eastern Europe, it's slightly different. You need to carry the interaction and the conversation yourself a lot more than with Latinas or mixed race girls or black girls in Barcelona, or just Spanish girls as well. They will give you a lot more feedback, a lot more positive feedback right off the bat when you are approaching them, but during the conversation as well. I had it several times in Barcelona where 2 minutes, and you can see this on my infields as well, with the Brazilian girl at the harbor in Barcelona. Like 1 minute in the conversation, she basically insta closes me or asks me for my WhatsApp or asks me to go for drinks. This does not happen in Belgrade at all. In terms of physical escalation, bringing girls back home, a massive difference here is girls take it way more slow, but I feel like that's a good thing as well. It elevates the experience in a new way, and basically, if you take a girl out and she's willing to go out on a date with you and spend these moments with you, it means that on at least some level, she's considering you as a very serious and quality option. I think if you can manage to go on a second date with a girl, she's possibly thinking about a relationship already. In Barcelona, not necessarily. You have a lot more tourism as well, a lot more this YOLO experience where girls fly in, fly out, they disappear. Maybe you'll have a one-night stand. In Belgrade, it's slightly different.
I've really enjoyed observing your approach. I don't think I've not seen many guys who approach like you. It's very, very interesting. I was just going to ask Ephraim, what's been as an observer, you're going out, you've done thousands of approaches, more approaches and had more experiences than almost any guy your age, certainly in daytime. What's your experience just watching Balthus in action? You've seen him in Barca, you've seen him out here. What do you make of his style and what do you make of it all?
I'll get in frame with you.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'll go on this side. Yeah, great question. So it's interesting approaching with Balthus because he has a very relaxed style to his approach, whereas I have a slightly more high energy, very talkative. I don't really let many gaps sit in the conversation. And so specifically, like when I'm in set with Balthus and we're talking to two girls, he'll just shut up and stare at them, and they'll feel the tension, and I'll feel the tension, and I'll feel the need to kind of like fill the silence sometimes. But slowly but surely, I'm learning to just let it sit with him and not say anything. Sometimes we'll glance at each other and laugh, and then look back at the girls and just let them feel flustered. And yeah, it's interesting because oftentimes when you let the silence sit, two things happen. One, they use that as a convenient excuse to exit the conversation. But the other thing that happens, like the other option, is they actually like what's going on. They like the approach. And so they end up offering up new topics to talk about. They'll ask us questions. Where are you guys from? That's where we'll bring in the banter that he talked about, yeah, we're brothers. Yeah, we have these fun joke threads that we go down. But I definitely have learned to be more at peace during my approach, just by watching Balthus and then being in set with Balthus. I definitely have a tendency to just ramble on and almost a fear that if I stop talking, the girl will walk away. And what I'm learning with Balthus is that is a possibility. They will walk away, but it's really polarizing because when you allow that silence, the girls that do like you and do want to engage with you, they'll sit there, they'll start speaking to you, they'll start asking you questions back, and all of a sudden it's just flirty fireworks right off the bat. Yeah, it's trying to go for instant dates with the guy. I mean, it's just been a blast out here. So, yeah, I'm definitely learning a lot. His stop is really good. Just textbook cover to cover. Yeah, his stop is really good. The way that he gets in front of the girl and just stares into her soul is just very, very good. And then, yeah, his conversation is just so relaxed. He doesn't feel the need to like always fill the silence. And then, I mean, I think I said this on his channel yesterday, but every time Balthus goes up to a girl, I'm pretty much assuming that he's going to get her number and he's going to take her out on a date. Like, that's how effective he is with this skill. Yeah, it's like every girl that likes him even 10%, he always moves the dial to that 90, 100%. And then, I look away for 5 seconds. I look back. His phone is out. He's taking down her number, giving her a hug. Yeah, staring at her, and it's just what an experience to be able to approach with the guy. Yeah. Go ahead.
Based on what you just said, I'm honestly really looking forward to doing a lot more two sets tomorrow. I think we should do that.
Yeah.
We should find a way to get it on camera as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then kind of adapt to each other's styles. I think it's just fun.
Yeah.
The jokes will be there. We'll get some interesting content with that.
Yeah. All right. And then let me just ask Joseph. So, absolutely. Yeah. So. You've obviously been out here with Balthus for almost 2 weeks longer than I've been out here, so you've got to see him in a lot more conversations. You got to see his style. I think you even mentioned to me at the cafe that you've observed some things about his style that you're trying to integrate into your own approach, and you two are kind of bouncing off of each other. So what is your take on Balthus's approach, specifically how he's grown out here? You told me you've seen some big strides that he's taken since he's come out to Belgrade, so what's your take on Balthus?
Yes, I was with this naughty Belgian man in Barcelona. So that's where we first met, and we're going out doing sessions together. For me, he was actually the big surprise package of Barca. I knew Ephraim was an operator. I knew Christian was an operator. I knew I was solid. I never seen Balthus in real life. I just heard a few of seen some of the accounts of his immersion, looked good, and then I saw him in set, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is a serious guy here. So that was pleasant to watch, and I feel like Barca and maybe Western Europe, he's got this, like, in terms of looks for Latinas and the girls he goes for, he's kind of like he's an exotic look for them. So he's this blonde-haired, blue-eyed, tennis coach-looking guy, comes over, they'll just basically melt into the floor. He just stares at them, and then that's it. It's game over. Yeah. So that was, he's just closing left, right, and centre in Barcelona. It's just completely insane. His life is just hilarious. He went out for 1 month, and there's just too much to even go into.
That video as well. There's a 1 month immersion video of Barcelona. We'll add it on
at the end. So that was really. I mean, it's just great to see a guy just going, and also the broader transformation Balthus has made is one of the best I've actually seen, full stop. So he's gone from, before Barca, he was working in a hotel, he was living in a city, he didn't really like his life, and maybe he didn't even realize how much he didn't like his life.
Yeah.
And it was kind of taking a lot of bullshit at work, taking a lot of bullshit in his life, and maybe just getting in. He obviously had ability, and he could get girlfriends and stuff, but it wasn't really where he wanted to be. And he's completely transformed his work life. He's now working remotely. He's getting into high ticket sales. He's making content. He's traveling the world and seducing everyone along the way. So it's been amazing to see. And then in terms of him actually out here in Belgrade, I've really enjoyed watching it. I could see like the first day or so, he's a smart guy, so he clocks things quickly, and he's going, my usual, hey, I'm Balthus, hey, just relaxed. It's not quite working. They're just kind of walking away, or they're not really, it's not having the same impact as it would do. Very little, just very subtle things he would do in Western Europe. It's not working out here. So very quickly, he started to adapt, and so his stops became much more firm. So he's going over to the girl with just more energy and more of a sense of authority in that first 5 seconds, just to really make sure she's actually stopping and he's got her attention. Then he can put the hypnosis on her, right? But he was able to bring that into his approach, like within a couple of days. So, someone else, I remember when I first came out here back in September, I didn't even approach for the first few days because I just wanted to get used to the city. So he's approaching on day one. It really is a lot. It's a very different environment to Western Europe. It's really different, So yeah, so it was great to see, and I've literally just watched him go from strength to strength pretty much every single day. Like he's already really, really good. And this is the thing with guys who think, again, guys who think it's, oh, it's the city, it's the place, it's this country, it's the girls. My brother, it is not. It is on you. It's on you. If you have got the skills and you know what you're doing and you've got the right mindset, you're in the right emotional state, you've got the right look about you, that you put some effort into that, you're going to do well anywhere. And this is exactly what this guy is proving. He's coming out totally new environment, and within really within a few days, he'd completely adapted. And then since then, it's just been the routine, you know, just the routine business, the routine business of Balthus Day game. So yeah, just going down the strip, seeing he's already got like 7 X's already that we just see on the strip. So yeah, it's been really good to see. And the last thing I'll say as well is, in terms of guys who would be interested in I think like would connect really well with Balthus. I think a lot of guys around Southern Europe, particularly guys in France, but also maybe even guys Central Europe like Germany as well. There's something about your energy which I think would connect really, really well with that group of people. And you've got it's almost like me and Ephraim have got the Anglo version of seduction. His version is totally different to ours. As I say, it's like a hypnosis game that he's running, which I really love watching it. I really enjoy watching it. And even the way he thinks about approach, just listen to what he's saying in his answers. He's thinking to himself, how much do I like her? So he's qualifying her, yeah? And that's genuine. It's not some fake bullshit from a self-help book. He's really thinking to himself, what do I like about this girl? Oh, I like this. Oh, I don't like this. And so he's referencing himself. Yeah, so he's his own authority. He's not going over to please. You know, as long as he's got the stop, then he's just going in and he's enjoying himself, and he's self-referential. That's what I would say. And so yeah, it's been really good to roll with him and roll with a guy who's actually just a genuine seducer. That's what I would say about Balthus. My approach is more geared towards getting contacts, get the contacts, and set the date. Seduction can come. Balthus's approach is like seduction from the first second, which is really, really cool. So I've definitely learned from that, and it's something I've started to do more in my sets as well. So it's just amazing to witness, but also learn from and incorporate as well.
Yeah. Maybe one more thing here, because you were talking about my personal transformation. I think eventually, the better you become with cold approach, and you can use me as an example, but other guys as well, is just the massive effect that cold approach has on your personal life, because this is always about girls, getting dates, finding a girlfriend, finding a wife. But eventually, it's not just about dating, it is about self-development, it's about loving yourself, it's about becoming a more assertive version of yourself. And this will have massive effects on your personal life, on your professional life. I genuinely believe if you work in sales, for example, high-ticket sales, or any other business you're running, it will, once you learn the skill of daytime cold approach, it will just greatly and positively influence any sort of business or adventure that you decide to take on.
Yeah, and so when it comes to Balthus and his actual coaching, I actually got the pleasure of seeing Balthus attract his first ever client out here in Belgrade and run an immersion. And what a sight to see. I actually didn't get to see the first few approaches, but I got to hear all about it from his client and the transformation that he was able to make SB out here in Belgrade. And it was really cool to see not only videos and clips from the approaches that he was doing, but just to interview SB and ask him about his experience with Balthus. And all he had was positive things to say about how he was able to help him get over his fear. He was able to guide him through the brutal rejections that we all are going to face when we first get into this. And then the best part was to be able to see that third approach where he actually stopped a girl, had a great conversation, took her phone number down, and texted back and forth with her. It was an insane thing to see. So then the very next day after that first day of their immersion, I was at the mall with Baltus and SB, and just to be able to see Baltus' style of coaching, he really just takes you under his wing. He really just normalizes everything. Yeah, all the rejections that his client was facing, he was able to just talk through it with him and just really make him feel comfortable during this entire process, to where by the time his client flew out of here, he was a different human being. You could see it in his eyes. You could see it in the way that he carried himself. He was putting himself into approaches without Baltus even having to suggest it. And it was just an amazing transformation to see. I'm sure he's back in his home country right now, lighting the streets up already after just a very, very brief immersion with Baltus. So,
Mr. SB.
yeah, fair play, huh? Well done.
Yes.